Sri J. Lakhani, an excellent communicator of Hinduism in Britain and director of the Hindu Academy, the Vivekananda Centre in London. Over the last 15 years, Sri Lakhani has given talks on Hinduism to thousands of youngsters at English schools, colleges and universities. If you wish to get a glimpse of the modern, dynamic face of Hinduism, then do not miss this series of talks.
Okay, good evening. The sessions we are going to conduct at Eton now for the next 10 sessions is going to be Hinduism Basics. So in these 10 sessions of half hour each, I'm going to try and cover Hinduism in its totality in very simple terms, very simple English. It is possible to do that in a very structured, systematic manner. The vision of Hinduism I'm going to give you can be called the most comprehensive vision. That means it's not focused on one sectarian movement or one godhead saying, oh, we love Krishna. No, it's a very comprehensive vision of Hinduism. It is also a very contemporary vision of Hinduism because many religions are stuck in a rut. What they've been taught was taught by their prophets who lived 2,000 years ago, and they're stuck in that. This religion is a live religion, so you will get a more, if you like, more contemporary vision of Hinduism. So this is the second aspect. It's comprehensive. It is very contemporary. And the third aspect is most important, is comprehensible Hinduism. It means Hinduism that makes sense. It doesn't appear like nonsense, is well thought out, and hopefully as rational as any religion can be. So you're going to get a very rational, structured, comprehensive, like comprehensible vision of Hinduism in the next 10 sessions. So let us begin the journey. First of all, we must look at the historicity. How old is this religion? Because we like to exaggerate. Hindus love to exaggerate. We are million-year-old. Nobody was million-year-old. Homo sapiens, mean thinking human beings, came on earth about 50, 80,000 years back and not earlier. The thinking humans only became visible on earth about 80. You can't be million-year-old then. So how old is Hinduism? Let's think about it. The archaeological evidence we have, means the digs you do and you find out how old people, how ancient people lived. The archaeological evidence we have from the Saraswati River civilization, the Indus Valley civilization, suggests that a civilization was already in place, very well organized, which goes back about 5,000 years. So it's about, say, 3000 BC. This is a rough figure. Archaeology is a very exact science. It can really date a particular object, etc., saying it's 5,000 years old through carbon dating, etc. Now, we are sure there's definitely, I would say, 5,000 years old. Maybe it is perhaps 6,000, 7,000 years. Maybe you find some more digs later on, which will show that it's 8,000 years old. But nothing much greater than that. I don't expect it to be 100,000 years old. And again, another interesting thing is this. In the Indian subcontinent, we have this marvelous personality called Buddha, who lived about 2,500 years ago. Now, Buddha is not a made-up figure. It's not a mythological figure. Buddha is a historic figure. And many ideas Buddha adopted, like meditation, etc., were already visible in his life. So that means Hinduism already flourishing. He used the Hindu ideas to produce a new religion. So that means Hinduism is definitely 2,500 years old, but very likely goes up to 6,000, 7,000 years in history. This is the historicity. You must always keep your feet firmly planted on ground when you think about such things. And so don't exaggerate. We are a million years old. This is nonsense. I would say 5,000 to 7,000 year old religion. How did it start? Was it that we suddenly said, oh, let's think about God and let's produce images in temples? How did it start? This is a very interesting thing. And for any anthropologist who looks at the human condition, this is very relevant. This is how it started. It was not looking for a God. The whole enterprise started to try and make sense of the world that we live in. What is this all about? We never registered to be born. We suddenly find ourselves here, screaming and crying and all that. What is going on? What is the nature of reality? What is this all about? Who are we? What are we doing here? It was trying to suss out the human condition and resolving it. So the enterprise was not searching for a God, etc. The enterprise started 5,000 years ago trying to make sense of the world that we live in and sorting ourselves out in simple English. This is how it started. And this is the foundation of Hinduism. And this is very important for you to know, because if you talk to an atheist, a modern thinker, you say this is what we are all about, making sense of the human condition and resolving it, not just making sense, but trying to sort it out, sort ourselves out. Nobody can say you're kind of wrong-footed. This is a very clear way of trying to live our lives. This is how the enterprise started. How did we acquire the name Hindu? Because there was no Mr. Hindu, I'm Hindu, follow me. In Christianity there's Christ. In Buddhism there's Buddha. In Hinduism there's no Mr. Hindu. So where did the word Hindu come from? Very interesting. Most Hindus don't know themselves. If asked why, we don't know we are Hindu. We come from Hindustan. That's not good enough. The reason why, or the reason how we acquired the name Hindu is very interesting. You see, in ancient India, in the northwest part of ancient India, flowed a river called the river Sindhu. The Sindhu word in Sanskrit means vast amount of water, or large river, a huge amount of water. Sindhu, like a sea. So the huge river that we call Sindhu, it still flows in that part of the world. But for whatever quirk, that particular name of the river was mispronounced as Hindu. And they say people living around this river, the civilization around this river, are the people called Hindus. So we acquired the name as a mispronunciation of a name of an ancient river, Sindhu. The story didn't stop there. That name of that river was mispronounced again from the word Sindhu to Hindu to the word Indus, Indu. And from the word Indus, we derive the word people living across the river Indus are people of Indoi. That's how the word India came into being. So the name of the religion comes from mispronouncing the name of the river called Sindhu. The name of the nation, country, is also derived from further mispronunciation of the name of that river. And the river still flows in that part of the world called River Indus. So it's nice for you to know the background of the word Hindu. It doesn't come directly from what we are all about. So what are we all about? As I said, trying to make sense of the human condition. And the term that the Hindus themselves use to define their enterprise is dharma. The word dharma comes from the Sanskrit root dhara. Dhara means what is it that's holding everything together? What is behind this creation? What is one out of which everything is manufactured, including all the non-living things, the living things, human beings, intellect, emotions. What is the foundation to everything? What holds everything together? Dhara. From the word dhara, we derive the word dharma. So trying to resolve the human condition was defined as the enterprise called dharma, making sense of the human condition. And resolving the human condition becomes, if you like, practicing dharma, sorting yourself out. The word dharma then also had an addition, the word sanatan. Sanatan means we are trying to resolve the human condition, which is not just temporary fed, means only suitable for one particular group of people during a particular period of history, but something that has got eternal values or universal values. That is the word sanatan. So the word Sanatan Dharma is the real name of the religion of Hinduism. So Sanatan Dharma means we want to try and find, if you like, resolution to our human condition, which is permanent, not just temporary, not a fad, but which is permanent and which is universal. So it doesn't just only apply to one particular part of the country. It must be a universal phenomena. In fact, it should resolve the condition of human condition throughout the world. This is the meaning of the word Sanatan Dharma. Now, if you talk to any logician, any clear thinker, that this is what we are trying to sort out. What is the nature of reality? What are the rules and laws that operate in the world that I see around me? Let me understand those rules and laws and harness them for my betterment. They say, Mr. Lakhani, you're talking our language. Talk to any scientist. A physical, a hard scientist who's studying physics and chemistry, or a soft scientist looking at psychology and anthropology. They say, this is our enterprise, trying to make sense of the world that we live in. What are the rules that operate in the world around us? If we know how to, if we can come to terms with those rules, we can harness them for our betterment. This is hard sciences. And the same thing is true with soft sciences like psychology and anthropology, trying to understand the human condition. What are the rules that operate with human beings, individually or as groups, as social groups? Sociology. So understanding the rules and laws that operate in this world and coming to terms with them and harnessing them for our betterment is the actual definition of the word dharma, Sanatan Dharma. Now you can see how well it sits with the concept of modern scientific thinking. That's what science is all about. The reason why you study physics, because I can understand this called electromagnetism, this is called gravitation. I can understand the rules that they operate and harness them so I can send a man to the moon and bring him back. This is the enterprise of science. That's why we harness nature. You see, in ancient days when you had thunderstorms, you say, oh, God sending messages, we are crying and cowering in a cave and shuddering. Now we say, oh, no, this is called electricity. We harness it, put it in wires, and light up our rooms. This is harnessing nature. And what about harnessing in nature, in inner nature? If you understand what the emotions, the drives that drive human beings, like you've got tremendous attraction, you've got some tremendous desires. If we can come to terms of what is the origin of desires and harness them, we are harnessing nature internal. You see, this is the idea of social sciences. So, in a way, the word dharma encompasses or uses, if you like, a very, very broad term that encompasses, if you like, the issues of hard sciences as well as soft sciences. It's a very, very rigorous term, dharma. So what you thought was, dharma, that's the name of religion. It's not religion. The word religion is an enterprise, Abrahamic enterprise, which says trying to link or relate humanity with some super personality called, oh Lord, you are God. What's the link between God and man? This is called religion, realigning humanity with God. Hinduism is not that, it's dharma. And let me also tell you, the word dharma is a very vast term, not just used by Hindus. It is common to Hindus, Buddhists, Jains, and Sikhs. All the four Indic religions that came out of India, relate to the word dharma. They share the word dharma. In Buddhism, they don't talk about God at all, but yet it's dharma, making sense of the human condition. So in the same one, the one term encompasses the four major world religions. I would say half the population in the world belong to the dharmic faiths. It's not a minor thing. And they all relate to the word dharma. I said with the adjective sanatan, means we are looking for permanent solution to human condition, not just temporary fad that's suitable for 50 years or 20 years and then it will fade away. No good. So if you like, this is the foundation of the word dharma. It's very important for you to know. Let me come to the next part. Who are the founders of Hinduism? Now, many books written by Westerners, they will say Hinduism has no founders. Now, this is utter nonsense. This religion didn't come out of the sky and fall on our head. So, who are the founders? It's not that we don't have one founder. We have too many founders to count. We are spoiled for choice. Every century produces some super giant who can talk about spirituality, religion from first-hand experience. So we are spoiled for choice. We don't have no founder. We have too many to count. This is the uniqueness of this tradition. But the reason why we use a Sanskrit term called apurusheya, this really apurusheya, doesn't mean no founder. It simply means it's a principle-oriented religion and not founded or if you like, linked up with just one personality. So even if you love Krishna, you don't say, oh, it's founded by Krishna. It's a principle-oriented religion. It says really you should don't be focusing on the personality, but the principles he's talking about, the principles of dharma. So it's a principle-oriented, that's why it's called apurusheya. It means not fixated on any individual personality, ancient or modern. Very open. So you can become the founders of Hinduism in modern times. You don't need to focus on ancient ones. It's open system. So if you like, this is the word. It doesn't have one founder. It has too many founders to count. There is one generic term the Hindus are given to their founders, so the people with authority of Hinduism. This is a very important word, authority. The word is rishi. The term rishi is derived from the Sanskrit root drish. Drish means to encounter, to see firsthand. So the Hindus say that enterprise we call dharma actually comes about because there are certain individuals who say what is the underpinning of this reality? It's not something that we believe in or we try to trust or we just intellectualize. We actually experience. What is the underpinning of this reality? We come face to face with it. These are very special individuals. And the term Hindus use is rishi. These are the founders of Hinduism, ancient and modern. And these are dramatic personalities. So the word is rishi from the term drish, first an encounter. And again I would warn the Hindus, please be aware. Hinduism, because an open system is open to abuse. And there are lots of others who like to gang up and call themselves rishi. Rishi is not a minor term. There are very few people who can say firsthand, I know what I'm talking about. Not read it in a book, or not just sat down in a coffee and discussed it. I know. These are very special individuals, and they are the founders or the people of, if you like, authority in the Hindu tradition. Please remember this. Don't be gullible and be taken for a ride. There may be very good storytellers, kathakars. They're glorified storytellers, but they are not rishis. There may be people who are very highly intellectual, pandits, very clever clogs. But they're just that. They're not rishis. When they talk from authority, really powerful material comes out of their mouth, out of their lips. Very powerful personalities. These are the founders, ancient and modern. So again, no founder, no, too many founders to count. Then we come to the next issue. How is Hinduism transmitted from one generation to another generation for over thousands of years? We said there are certain people who got certain titles. And the titles that we hear are the word Guru. Guru is derived from Sanskrit root, which means one who destroys ignorance. So it's a very generic title. So Guru doesn't mean necessarily a spiritual teacher. It may be a computer guru or an economics guru. So Guru is a title saying somebody who removes ignorance. The second term we use, very important, is Swami. Swami means an individual who has mastered himself. Again, these are very interesting individuals. And how do they impart their knowledge? And what is the process for imparting knowledge? It's very important for you to understand. And this, what the ancient Hindus taught, is very relevant for the world that we live in. They say in order for knowledge to pass from the teacher to the student, there's a particular methodology you should adopt. And you may think it's outdated and it's old-fashioned, but it's still very relevant. It says, these are the three Sanskrit terms: pranam, prashna, seva. So what's that? Pranam means basically show respect. Respect not necessarily to the individual, but the knowledge he carries. And this is the secret I'm telling you. If you show respect to the subject you are studying, your teacher will soon find out that you are genuine, and he'll open his heart and give you all the information. So this idea of respect is not saying, dive at his feet and touch his feet. It simply says, show respect to the subject that he understands, because then you will acquire that knowledge. Then the doorway of communication will open up. So pranam, second part, prashna, ask. Sometimes people feel shy or say, oh no, I look stupid if I ask a question. So they don't ask. Say, ask. If somebody knows something more than you do, if you don't ask him, he will not know what you are what you are lacking. Ask. The third word which they use, which may sound again very old-fashioned, is always show not only respect to the subject, but to the carrier of that knowledge. Seva simply means making sure that the teacher is made very aware that you respect what he stands for. These are the three terms. You see how relevant they are in a modern world? Modern education system is struggling in the United Kingdom. You go through most of the schools, I'm telling you, some of them are a real nightmare. The teachers get beaten up. So this idea of pranam, prashna, seva is not a minor thing. Unless you have discipline, first thing is discipline, and you show respect to the subject, your subject carrier, then there are chances that you will learn. You'll open up the doorways of communication. So pranam, prashna, seva are not ancient ideas. Discipline and respect are still very crucial for the modern education system. Let me tell you how. You see, you will find a lot of youngsters in the Far East, say Singapore, China, Malaysia, Korea, etc., are doing extremely well. They are very focused individuals in the studies. And one reason is this. They are disciplined individuals. They spend perhaps 10 hours extra studying every day. Literally, they work from morning till night. And the second most important, they show respect. So if a poor teacher from this country goes to some of the Far East countries to try to teach, he'll be surprised at the amount of respect he receives. While the same teacher coming from China here, he tried to teach here, will be frightened off by the children because they'll try and beat him up. Forget about respect. So you see, these are very ancient words, but they're very crucial if you want to acquire knowledge of any kind, including knowledge of religion. Okay, let's go to the next one. Now you see, again, a lot of Hindus are confused about the symbolism that goes with Hinduism. So what are the main key symbols of Hinduism? Again, I give you a little bit of Sanskrit etymology so you become more stylish. The Sanskrit word is prati. From the word prati, which means going towards, we derive two words, pratika and pratima. Pratika means a symbol that will lead me to somewhere, and pratima means, if you like, an image that will lead me somewhere. Where? It's talking about becoming spiritual. So from the word prati, Hindus derive two words, pratika, pratima. Means a symbol that will, if you like, link me with higher ideals, or an image that will lead me to higher ideals, or regarding what is the nature of reality. That's our search. So these are very important words. And the word pratik means, if you like, images or symbols. So what are the symbols of Hinduism? The most popular symbol that you must have come across by now is the symbol Om. Now Om is a very unique symbol. It's not only just pictorial that you can see what it looks like. It is a sound. So it engages your eyes as well as your ears. So it engages both your senses. And the symbol Om is not something that the committee sat down and said, let's devise a symbol for Hinduism. This, they say, in the deepest of meditation, is something that they encountered. They feel that when you go into deep meditation, you feel the whole universe as a vibration. And this vibration in deep meditation, not these ears, is understood. When you try and give it expression, when you come out of meditation, it sounds like Om. And it's not one person saying it. All the founders, all the rishis say when they go into deep meditation, they hear the whole universe vibrating with a sound. And this is not unique, it's not an unusual idea. Modern cosmology is talking about a vibration that is better, if you like, the background vibration. So they say we hear a vibration which sounds like, it's not exactly Om, because verbally, if you try and give verbal expression, it says sounds like Om. So that's the most universal symbol of Hindus, Om. The second symbol Hindus have used is the symbol swastika. And you may have seen the image of swastika, like it's got 4 arms and little dots in the middle. Now what is the swastika all about? It comes from the Sanskrit root swasti, means bring auspiciousness, means bring good luck. So the idea is this, let us focus and let us try and bring good stuff, auspiciousness, good luck from all the 4 corners of the world. So it's got 4 arms, trying to bring in auspiciousness, goodness from all corners of the world. This is the actual meaning of the word swastika, bring goodness from all corners of the world. What a lovely idea. But this, of course, this symbol was hijacked by Hitler and used as a nasty, horrendous symbol of his particular, Reich. And the only way you can distinguish the Hindu swastika with the Hitler swastika is very simple. The Hindu swastika will always be either orange in color, like the color of the sun, the rising sun, means very full of illumination, or red sometimes, or saying very brilliant, bright. The Nazi swastika will be black. This is how you distinguish them. But this one was actually, did a lot of black deeds, if I can use that language, in the name of swastika. So this is the original meaning of the word swastika. You must understand it. The third symbol that is very popular in Hinduism is the symbol of lotus. You'll see in every temple, every gods and goddesses holding lotuses or standing on lotuses. And the lotus is, the reason why lotus appears very interesting is this. This says, even though the lotus grows in very muddy places, you've seen the very muddy, lakes or ponds where the lotuses grow. So even though the surroundings are very, not very, very helpful, the beautiful lotus comes out as perfection. There's no blemish on it. It's absolute perfection in the middle of all the chaos. So the idea of spirituality is, even though we find ourselves in a mess, this human condition, etc., there's something very special and very pure within us. It's trying to manifest itself like a lotus, purity. So this is the reason why the symbol, if you like, the 3 major symbols, Om, swastika, and lotus are central in the Hindu religion. Now let me come now finally to the central prayer of the Hindus. Hinduism is a vast religion with vast number of different practices, North India, South India, but one particular prayer that has, if you like, attracted the attention of all the Hindus worldwide and throughout India is a prayer called the Gayatri. Now normally when we start Eton classes, I normally ask you to recite the Gayatri with me, but I'll just tell you what it means. The Gayatri is the most important, potent prayer of the Hindus, and the reason why it's very important is this. Normally prayers are begging, say, oh Lord, help me, I'm in trouble, I'm in distress, oh Lord, please give me some more money, I need to pass my, go to Oxford University, please. They're normally begging prayers. The Gayatri is nothing of the sort. It is simply saying, make me illumined. It doesn't want anything from God, but it looks for illumination. It wants to be illumined. So the actual translation, this is the loose translation, is let us meditate, because meditation is the powerful way of trying to make suss out the human condition. Let us meditate on the glorious effulgence. They don't use the word light. On the glorious effulgence. Effulgence means a light doesn't require outside source, doesn't require a wire to bring power into it. It's just self-lit. Let us meditate on the glorious effulgence of that supreme being, or idea of what is underpinning this reality, who is behind this creation. May she, the word is very interesting. The most important Hindu prayer addresses the concept of super-personality. Notice the he. All Abrahamic traditions are stuck with he. The Hindu tradition is stuck with, is happy with the word she. May she enlighten our hearts and direct our understanding. The two major features we possess, our heart and head, is saying, oh, let them both be kind of directed towards making sense of the human condition. Let me use both my faculties, head and heart, to understand the nature of reality. That's why it's a very potent prayer used by all Hindus. And of course, at Eton, we start our sessions by reciting the Gayatri.